Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name is Justin and this is Dad Discovers, where I'm learning about the world through YouTube. Today we're checking out a video titled 10 Reasons Not to Ruin Your Life Moving to Australia. So these are going to be 10 reasons why we should not move to Australia. Let's see what they say. Because I've heard a bunch of good reasons to move to Australia. Let's see why we should not move to Australia.
Do not move to Australia. If you're thinking about moving to Australia, it could be one of the worst decisions of your life. G'day guys, my name's Ross and I moved to Australia with my family more than 3 years ago, and I reckon I know a little bit about living.
So he's got some experience in Australia. Let's see what happened to him. Why he thinks people should not move to Australia.
In Australia, tens of thousands of people move here every year and they regret it. So in this video I'm going to share with you 10 reasons
What do you got going on down there in Australia?
why you shouldn't move here. And you never know, it might just stop you from making the biggest mistake of your life. Don't move to Australia because the cafe and breakfast culture really isn't there. You've been lied to. Oh, Australia's got great coffee. Does it? What makes Australia?
You guys have told me in the comments of some videos that your coffee culture is way better than America's. Maybe this guy lives in an area that's just not big on coffee.
Australian coffee so great anyway. Do you know who tells you Australia's got great coffee? Australians. And it's so expensive too. This coffee cost me less than $5 in a cafe. Like, what are they gonna do? Wash the mug up for me afterwards? And do you know the worst thing about cafe and breakfast culture in Australia? These little cafes and places that want your money, they're just everywhere. You can't get away from them. Sometimes in locations where you'd want something else to be there, like near the beach or in a shopping centre. I can't understand that if you did want them, why can't they just put them in places that are a bit more convenient? I don't know why so many Australians just go to cafes, grab some food with their friends, socialise. You can do that at home, mate. Don't waste your time and effort. Don't move to Australia because you're going to get taxed too much. And you're going to wonder what all of the tax is actually going towards. Keeping the country safe? Crime occurs here still. A half-decent healthcare system? Well, the other day I was trying to book an appointment with a doctor that I'd seen before, and they didn't have an appointment at the exact time that I wanted. I had to get one like 20 minutes later. God forbid, I almost had to get one.
Is this a parody video? Or is this guy serious? I feel like this is... Is this a comedy sketch?
On the next day, I had to scroll down on the little appy thing. And when you look at the list of tax rates by country, Australia ranks really high at number 42. How dare they have such a high sales tax rate at 10%? We need it to be cheaper. There are so many better countries, like Honduras at number 68, or the Republic of Macedonia at number 95. They've also got a sales tax of 10%. What are you doing, Australia, to reduce your tax rate? You need to get us better than Rwanda at 97. If I was you, I'd move to a country with a lower tax rate, like the United States of America at number 53, because that seems like a safer country with a better healthcare system, and you can keep more...
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Definitely parody. Okay. So he's pointing out, he's doing like a reverse psychology thing. Okay. So the title of this video should really be why you should move to Australia. Okay. Got it. Good. Better healthcare in America. Okay.
Of your hard-earned money for yourself. I made a big mistake.
Don't move to Australia because there's loads of cheap Chinese cars.
Everywhere you look, just cheap Chinese rip-offs.
GWM.
Makes you realise why they don't make any cars in Australia anymore. And they make them so cheap and affordable so that loads of people just buy them. And they fob you off with these extended 7-year warranties in some cases. Well, do you know what's going to happen?
So how much are the cars in Australia? Like these cars that they just showed, how much would something like that be? These like SUVs that they just showed. Because, you know, car prices here have gone pretty wild in the last 5 or 6 years. Like, they were always kind of expensive, but the last 5 or 6 years, they've gone kind of crazy.
day after the warranty runs out. It's probably going to break. I've heard loads of stories like they're going to rust, or the engine's not going to be powerful enough, or God forbid the thing's just going to spontaneously combust. I haven't actually heard that, but I reckon it could probably still happen. If you're thinking about moving to Australia like me and you've got a family and kids, don't move to Australia because you're going to have to use childcare and they make you pay for it. It's so expensive. And the Australian government tries to soften the amount for you by offering this thing called childcare subsidy, but they base it upon your income.
How could they? How could they help you with childcare? Government.
Do you know what? If you earn over $530,000 as a family, they give you nothing. In fact, it goes down 1% for every...
If you earn $530,000, they give you nothing for childcare. If you're making 530 grand, I'd say you're doing pretty good. I'd say you probably don't need help with healthcare, or not healthcare, but childcare.
$5,000 that you earn above $80,000. So if your combined family earn $200,000, which is more than double the average Australian wage, you'd still have to pay
$73,000 is your average wage. It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
4% of the overall cost for your kids' childcare. Seems extortionate. You want me to earn all that and still have to pay nearly half the childcare? How am I going to afford that? I don't even earn that much, but it still angers me. I need childcare because I go to work. You want me to stay at home and look after my kids? So entitled. Don't move to Australia because it's too far.
Childcare's expensive here. Very
countries.
Expensive.
And instead, you'll have to visit Australia. And do you know one of the ways they make you do it? Camping. Travelling around Australia, pulling your little house behind you. Or God forbid, you're like a peasant in a tent. Who wants to see that much great outdoors anyway?
Oh,
and the
dreadful.
worst bit about Australia is everyone's got a freaking camper van. It's almost like there's a thriving second-hand market for them. Did you know that some
wanna go
people
camping
even
in Australia.
buy camper vans at the moment and then sell them on?
Doing like a we call it like a RV tour here, where you rent one of these camper vans or RVs and kind of just travel the country. I've always thought that would be cool to do in America, but I've been to a bunch of states, so I've seen a bunch of it, but it would still be cool. And I think it would be really cool to do in another country too. Especially like Australia. Like that'd be pretty amazing to see.
A few years later for pretty much exactly the same price that they bought for them. Extortionate. How much joy can you get from a travelling box on wheels anyway? Did you know that some of these campsites as well have nothing on them? They're completely off grid. It's just like staying in a field. What is the attraction? And you're probably going to need your little travelling house on wheels, because don't move to Australia because there's a housing crisis. If you're thinking of moving here, you're probably going to want to live in some of the most exclusive and popular suburbs like Bondi. I hear Surfers Paradise is pretty nice. Why don't you just go and live in Noosa? If you're having to uproot all of your life and move completely to the other side of the world, you deserve to live exactly where you want. You've already been flexible with how much you've given up and sacrificed to call Australia your home. Why should you have to compromise on your living situation? How dare hundreds of people want to live in the exact same place as you? It's ridiculous. What is the government going to do about it? Why should you have to compromise and live somewhere else? I know what you're thinking. You should probably even get priority over the people that already live there. Because if you can afford to pay the...
Oh, rent. Wow, this is the monthly rent. The highest points, the most expensive versus the cheapest, most affordable per area. No, some of these don't seem too bad. Some of these seem really good, actually. Wow. Even the more expensive side, the expensive versions. Wow.
increasingly
I would have
large
thought it would
rents,
be way more
well,
than
then
that.
you deserve it. And when you look at some of the most popular places in Australia with some of the lowest vacancy rates, you'll see that they're all in WA. It's because all those people like me are wanting to move over there. I wouldn't want to live there, bloody Perth. And when you do find a place that you can eventually call your home, don't move to Australia, because Australian homes are basically shacks. Most of them aren't even strong enough to support another story. They're just like low hovels. And some of them even have metal roofs. What kind of peasant nation is this? What, so when it rains you have to hear the rain?
You know, I actually like that. The metal roof when it's raining. There's something about that. I could be knocked out in a couple minutes just listening to it, just relaxing.
And most of the internal walls are basically paper thin anyway, made of matchsticks inside. That's one of the only
talking about
good
American
things I think
homes.
about living in Perth, because at least most of those homes put metal in them. Paper thin walls, single glazing. It makes you question.
Wow, so you guys use metal framing for some of your homes? I don't know that I've ever seen anywhere in the United States use metal framing for a house. That's crazy. Even like if I go down to Charlotte, I can see them building these huge apartment buildings that are, 3 or 4 stories tall and have, 50 or 100 units in each building. They're made out of regular lumber, regular wood.
What year we're living in. And God forbid, like me, you ever actually manage to buy one. Where I used to live in the UK is pretty much a similar geographical distance to the centre of London. So living this far out from Brisbane city centre, just look at exactly what I could have got for my money in the UK. But in Australia, look at what you can get. Sure, they make it seem bigger because apparently bigger is better. What about the quality? Oh, we'll throw a little pool in the back garden. If I wanted to, I could probably have got a pool in the UK. Like, they do exist, you know. How often are you even going to use that pool in Queensland anyway? Now, these are the most important reasons why you shouldn't move here. And if you've made it this far, you're definitely going to want to hear these ones. Don't move to Australia, because they do everything they can to stop you from getting a tan. They keep putting all these adverts out about slipping and slopping and slapping or whatever, so you get a bit paranoid about throwing some sun cream on. And when you go to the shops, every single sun cream that they have is like factor 50. And then when you want to go out as well on the beach, they've got all these cool cabana things everywhere with these jazzy patterns just trying to make you buy one. And finally, when you do find a bit
So
of
for sunscreen, what's the SPF? Do you guys use like a SPF rating down there too? Because here we use SPF. I don't even know what SPF stands for, but it's like SPF 10, 20, 50, 100 or whatever. Like what's like standard? Like what do you go to the store and buy? SPF, whatever. Here, I think SPF 50 is like pretty strong. Like you don't even need 50, but I think most people just buy 50. I would imagine in Australia it would be higher, because I would feel like the sun would be more intense. Yeah.
that isn't overcrowded with them. It's like the local government have just put up their own shades everywhere. They even put them over the kids' parks. How are my kids going to look their best?
How
They're just
dare
going to look
they?
like Casper the Friendly Ghost's friend. All pale, and I don't want that. Who wants that for their kid? Oh, stick a hat on. I've got a big head, mate. Hats just don't suit me. What's the point in moving to a country where they claim you've got this outdoor lifestyle, and then they just make you cover up all the time, so you might as well just be indoors? Seems like a waste of time. And it's not like you can even afford to stay indoors anyway. Don't move to Australia because the cost of living is extortionate. They have some of the highest household energy bills.
Countries at the top or the higher. Oh wow, we're all the way at the bottom here. That's interesting. Because I feel like my utility bills are expensive.
Anywhere in the world. And it's not like you can just make your own energy now, is it? To offset some of these incredibly high costs.
Yeah, I would imagine
and to make
solar
it
would
even
be great
worse,
down
this
there.
country is basically run by 2 supermarkets who just keep racking up the prices, and you can never find any cheap food anywhere. Even if you wanted to support local greengrocers or butchers, they put them in really inconvenient places. Like sometimes you might have to leave the main supermarket and then go somewhere else, like round the corner, and then you have to buy your fruits and vegetables and stuff there. Why can't it all be in the same place, but also at a convenient price? It's so unfair. I remember in the UK, all all of the butchers and the local greengrocers, they basically closed up and shut down their businesses because they couldn't afford it anymore. I was even surprised to see them in Australia, and then with their cheap prices as well, trying to sucker you in. Now mate, just make it more convenient for me and then lower the price. I shouldn't have to choose to shop anywhere else.
You shouldn't have to walk around the corner to get to it.
Bring it to me.
Right.
Who
Just
even
bring it to my
has
house.
time to shop anyway? Doesn't everyone just get their food delivered now? Or at least direct to boot? I just wish they could make it easy and convenient for me to shop and just have it cheaper as well. Is it too much to ask? And the last, most important reason, don't move to Australia because, yeah, I'm gonna say it, everything will kill you, especially spiders. I walked my daughter to school the other day
I believe that.
and they were everywhere, just lying in wait, ready to prey on some unsuspecting small child. They need to have someone that will go around and fend them off. What happens if a small child walks into those bushes? What happens if spiders just, I mean, they're already working together in these webs. What if they just spread one across?
conspiring.
You've heard all the stories about Australia trying to kill you. Last thing you need is one of these drop bear things, just getting involved on all the action. Or if you try to run away, I've heard these hoop snake things come at you as well. Is there anything in this country that won't kill you? Well, I hope that my knowledge has been able to put you off moving to Australia, and God forbid you might live a longer and happier life. But if you haven't seen the light and you are really keen to see if you can't make it for yourself in Australia, then make sure you speak to our friends True Blue Migration.
Nice. Yeah, at first I thought this was really going to be a video about some of the, bad things or some of the negatives and why you should not move to Australia. But no, he's just trying to be funny. Okay. Yeah. And it took me all the way, I feel like it took me entirely too long to realize that this was like a parody type video, which is embarrassing. All the way up until the point when he said, what'd he say? Move to a better country like America for better healthcare. I don't think anybody in the world has uttered those words before. Anybody. But yeah, that was cool. That was interesting. Thank you for checking that out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.